There are mixed reactions from political parties as the Electoral Commission decides to move personnel into senior high schools to register students for the ongoing voters' ID registration. The Electoral Commission, at an emergency inter-party advisory committee meeting Thursday, told political parties about its decision to begin registering the students from tomorrow, Friday, July 10 to Saturday, July 11. Even though the exercise, if carried through, will be a breach of the regulation governing the ongoing registration exercise, the Electoral Commission is confident of finding a way around it. Latif Idris was at the headquarters of the Commission and has come through with this report.
Some parties have already come out. IDEC says it's observed but is unable to share its opinion on this particular matter.
It's not a secret about registration of the schools, or the secondary schools, so they are coming. They just, it's a very simple message. The final year students in SHS are on campus. The question is, because of the COVID-19, even parents are not allowed. How do you register them? So the EC has made a very special arrangement to go to those campuses that have no registration centers to register them. That's the main thing.
And that has been agreed by all political parties?
Apart from NDC, which raised certain problems. According to the NDC, the constitutional instrument governing registration says that a registration center must be gazetted. Those schools that they are moving to, they have not been gazetted. It will not be it will be a legal breach of the regulations. But majority of the participants disagreed. Yes.
And as an observer, you also agree with the Electoral Commission?
I would like to go there.
You want to share your position?
When some of us we speak, because the EC has taken a decision, and as we speak now, today is when, on the 9th, they are starting the processes tomorrow. And you call for an emergency IPAC meeting today. Meanwhile, you have taken your decisions already. And so how do we come to speak to the issues? It means that you just want us to come and become rubber stamps. And some of us, we've been always telling...
Did you put that rubber stamp on it?
I didn't agree to it because I don't see the reason or the logic or the sense in going to the various secondary schools to register, whereas their own parents are not being allowed to go and visit them. And I think it's bad. Then the worst of all, those centers are not being gazetted. And that is where every time we talk about this current EC, when they want to embark on something, they don't discuss with the political parties. So at the end of the day, they do things on their own. And then they just want us to come around and then it look as if we were all part of it.
Well, it is still a mystery what the EC wants to achieve in this country and what they want to achieve with this election. It is very bizarre. You have the case whereby you invite us to tell us that of all the gazetted registration centers where we will do the registration, where the registration is underway, you are going to send the machines to every single secondary school so that you can register the students as well in the schools. Now, the law says that every station that you send a machine to register must be a gazetted registration, and it should be a polling station. The law does not stop the Electoral Commission from creating additional centers, but you must follow the law and gazette those centers before you send a machine there. They are telling us that from tomorrow they are sending some of their machines to every secondary school to go and register them when they are not gazetted centers, when by law they don't qualify to register anybody there. So by extension, what you are saying is that they can even move the machine to somebody's room in the night beyond the gazetted time that ends at 6 p.m. and register people. And that is wrong. That is completely wrong.
What is the NDC's position? You've just said your position is completely...
I think that we must always remember that we are not in normal times. If you look at the centers that has been designated as registration centers, there are a few of them that are secondary schools already. There are a few of them that are universities already. And you must also remember that these are final year students, which numbers over 1.2 million. We, as a government, have decided that in order to protect these students, even parents should not visit them. We are not allowing other people from outside to visit them. If we are not able to provide them with the opportunity to be able to register. What it means is that they may either have to go outside, which will increase the risk of getting infected with the pandemic. So I think that it is an arrangement that is looking at the dynamics on the ground. They've already said, my little challenge that I was going to have is whether or not they were going to designate a new center altogether, because that will fly in the face of the law. That will not be legal. But what they have agreed, just as they have mobile registration kits, that at any given point in time, if people are cramming up at a polling station, they move in to augment and help the polling station in registering people, but they use the registration numbers of the centers they go. In this case, they are also going to use registration numbers of polling stations that are nearby the school, in order not to create a new center altogether that will be against the CI
so that these stations will not be gazetted. They will, for the lack of better word, benefit from existing polling stations.
They will benefit from existing polling stations, because if they are to gazette it now, it has to take about 21 days, which may end up, by the time 21 days elapses, the registration exercise is over. So this is a stopgap measure. I know, because the decision to get the students go back to school was not taken before the decision of Electoral Commission gazetting the polling stations. Other than that, they will have added it up. You understand? So we are in an emergency situation, and I believe that the Electoral Commission should make sure that we don't flout any law, because we don't want a situation where last minute somebody somewhere may decide to take the Electoral Commission on or through the court process. By this, if they really stick to the fact that they are using the mobile registration approach, then it will be legal.
But it will be happening in the schools?
It will be happening in the schools.
So what is the party's position with regards to this request by the Electoral Commission?
I think that is good. The Electoral Commission is taking decisions that are dynamic in order to resolve the problems we are having, because you can't disenfranchise close to 1.2 million will-be voters. I don't think that there's any political party that will agree with such assertion. If that is so, what is the way forward? Are we to allow the students to move outside their campuses to nearby polling stations to register? I don't think it is wise to do that. What is wise, in order to reduce the risk of our students being affected by coronavirus, is to create a center for them, and that's exactly what the Electoral Commission has done.
But there are no fears that when you move into these schools to register, the children will come out in their numbers, and this could also raise the risk of them contracting?
Even as they bring the center there, we still have to observe the social distance protocols. We must be hygienic. Already in all the centers, they have the guns that they check the temperature of people. They have sanitizers available. The schools, the students already have face masks and things like that. So the fact that they are going to open a registration does not mean we are going to lose guard or the protocols that we need to.
Because the concern is that already we are having cases emerging in the various schools, and now we are going to go ahead with this registration. It could complicate and make the situation even worse.
You see, it's all about resources. If we had unlimited resources, we would have decided to even test all the students before they go back. Because obviously, I don't think that the students got the virus from the school. They may have brought it from their homes to the place, and in the process may affect other people and all that.
We can't be certain about that.
But what can you be certain about?
We don't know.
So, because nobody, the school don't have coronaviruses in the schools. The whole school was fumigated and all that, you understand? So if there are some now, it means that people brought them from their homes, either the students or the teaching staff or something. That's the plausible explanation that you can give, you understand? So I think that in as much as we will have wished that nothing like that set up or start, we will ask the school authorities to still ensure that the safety protocols are observed. We are not in normal times, and people should not take it for granted at all. So I think that this is just a stopgap measure in order to make sure that these students are not unnecessarily disenfranchised.
Finally, before you go, General, are you unhappy that this meeting wasn't conclusive?
Who says it wasn't conclusive? It was conclusive. We discussed it. Each political party made its views. We ended the meeting. It wasn't conclusive. What was it? Are we coming back to discuss again? The whole thing is starting tomorrow and tomorrow next. So it wasn't conclusive. Are we coming back again? We discuss it. Okay. And in a meeting like that, you can have a position that's different from the position of others. I disagreed a bit with the Electoral Commission. I disagree with the NDC as well. So what do you mean by it's unconclusive? We concluded.
That's the sense I'm getting from your opponents.
Which opponents? They, I know, will obviously kick against students registering.
Why do you say so?
Why? Because in this country, I used to be national youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party. In all campuses throughout the country, including Ho Polytechnic, we won the elections there. So if you are having a situation that you want to register at secondary schools, where you not even talk about beneficiaries of SHS,
to be an adult graduate.
You understand, which the NDC know that is their Waterloo. Even before then, it is. So kicking against is something that if they had not done that, I would be surprised.
Wow.
I would be surprised if they had not kicked against this measure of the Electoral Commission to find ways of getting our brothers and sisters and our children in registering. I would have been surprised. So it is no news at all for some of us. It's normal for the NDC to kick against. But they know they always lose on campuses, including secondary schools. So I have no difficulty with that at all.
That is a very ridiculous claim. Because why? If you know you are going to win all the votes, let them register through the legal process, not through an illegal process. What we are speaking against is an illegality. It is not about winning anybody's votes. They know very well that they are losing this election. All this surreptitious move together with the EC to perpetuate illegality and do things that are against the law is just to secure them the victory that they are not going to get.